Hi, welcome back to Health Score. Today we're in the section on your numbers, and we're talking specifically about C-reactive protein. The recommendation is that you maintain a high sensitivity C-reactive protein, or CRP, below 0.86. This recommendation comes from a large clinical study that showed an ideal CRP level is less than 0.86. As CRP levels increase, so does risk for premature death. C-reactive protein is a marker of inflammation. And increasingly, scientists are discovering that inflammation is behind most chronic diseases and the aging process. In fact, it's been called inflammaging. C-reactive protein is a great general marker of the level of inflammation that's going on in the body. So high CRP levels indicate high levels of inflammation in the body. And high levels of inflammation in the body lead to progression of atherosclerosis in the heart, or plaque buildup and rupture, which causes heart attack, increased risk of hypertension, diabetes, stroke, and dementia, and increased risk of death from multiple kinds of cancer. It isn't the CRP itself that kills you, it's the inflammation that hastens death and worsens both the onset, the likelihood of chronic disease and cancer, as well as the rapidity of their progression. So, how do you lower C-reactive protein? There's absolutely nothing new here. There is nothing that isn't covered previously that's recommended for lowering inflammation in your body. And so what this lesson really is about determining what areas you need to go back to in other sections of Health Score if your CRP level is elevated. And what area potentially are you making the recommendation but need to intensify your efforts? So inflammation or elevated CRP is effectively lowered by not using tobacco, by limiting your alcohol consumption to not more than 7 servings of alcohol per week, living with strong purpose, treating depression if you're depressed, treating anxiety if you're anxious, engaging in regular aerobic activity for 150 minutes per week if it's moderate intensity, like brisk walking 30 minutes 5 days a week as an example, or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity per week like running. Resistance training also reduces inflammation. 2 sessions per week of some form of activity that uses your major muscles against resistance. I do yoga twice a week, for example. Nutrition. Now, nutrition, both the foods to eat will be anti-inflammatory, and avoiding the foods to limit will be avoiding inflammatory substances. So the way that foods reduce inflammation is by their antioxidants. The body, in its normal cellular metabolism, creates free radicals, which are oxygen species that are missing an electron and which are highly destructive to the body. The way that antioxidants in our diet work is they donate an electron to these free radical oxygen species and neutralize them so they no longer do damage to the body. Antioxidants are found in fruits and vegetables, in whole grains, in beans, in nuts and seeds, in seafood, in extra virgin olive oil, in coffee and green tea. They're actually the common denominator of health from all of these foods. So I'm recommending, once again, 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, 3 servings of whole grains per day, 5 servings of beans per week, 1 serving of nuts or seeds per day, 2 servings of omega-3 rich seafood per week, 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil per day, 3 to 5 cups of coffee or 5 to 7 cups of green tea per day. I'm recommending that you limit intake of any processed food, and especially not more than 1 serving per day. Eliminate or limit processed meat to not more than 3 ounces per week, and eliminate and reduce red meat to not more than 6 ounces per week. And next is BMI. Maintaining a healthy body weight or a BMI under 25 is an essential way of reducing inflammation in the body. Adipose tissue is pro-inflammatory. Reducing the fat on your body reduces the amount of inflammation. In summary, C-reactive protein is a very important marker, and keeping it and is a sign of inflammation. Keeping it below 0.86 is critical for overall health and reduction in multiple illnesses, diseases, cancers, and progression of those conditions. None of the things that I've recommended are new. They're all covered in other sections of Health Score. I recommend you revisit those sections if your CRP is 0.86 or greater. Thank you very much for your time. I hope that this video was helpful. If your CRP is normal and you're meeting all the recommendations, congratulations. If not, this will give you a motivation to return to the basics in Health Score and continue your progress. Hope this works out for you, and have a great day.